Ladies and gentlemen, all right. Ladies, let me tell you something right now. There's a lot more going on in a man's mind than you think. You might be out here thinking that you've got it all figured out. But trust me, there are things men notice about you that you wouldn't even imagine. It's not just the way you look or how you act in the big moments. No, it's the little things that catch our attention, the things we notice when you think we're not even looking. And let me tell you, these things can make or break the way we see you. So if you want to know what men secretly notice about women, and maybe, just maybe, use it to your advantage, stay with me because we're about to dive into 10 things men are paying attention to, even if you think they're not. Trust me, you don't want to miss this. One of the first things men secretly notice about women is the way she carries herself. Now, I'm not talking about what she's wearing or how perfectly styled her hair is, though those things matter too, but how she walks into a room, how she holds herself when she's speaking, and how she navigates through everyday situations. It's the kind of energy a woman exudes that can make her stand out in a crowded room without even trying. Men are naturally drawn to women who show confidence, who walk with purpose and own every space they occupy. It's the little things, like her posture, that immediately tell a story about who she is. And that's something we notice. When a woman walks into a room with her head held high, shoulders back, and a natural, graceful movement, it's an instant sign of self-assurance. Confidence is magnetic, and men pick up on that energy right away. It's not about being the loudest or the center of attention. It's about the quiet assurance that she knows exactly who she is and isn't trying to be anyone else. A woman who carries herself with confidence doesn't need validation from others. She radiates an internal sense of worth that's undeniable. And trust me, men notice it. But it's not just about the way she physically moves. It's about her presence. How does she hold herself in conversations? Does she listen attentively, make eye contact, and engage with others in a way that makes them feel heard? Or does she shrink back, avoid eye contact, or seem disconnected from the conversation? These are the subtle but powerful ways a woman communicates her confidence or lack thereof. A man can tell when a woman is comfortable in her own skin. It's about being authentic, letting go of the need for perfection, and just being herself. For men, seeing a woman who's self-assured is inspiring. It signals that she's not just waiting for someone else to define her worth, but that she has taken the time to figure out who she is and what she stands for. This confidence is contagious too. It makes a man want to be around her because it's not just attractive, it's empowering. It says, I don't need to seek validation because I already know my value. And that is a rare quality that men look for. We admire it, respect it, and even feel challenged by it in the best way possible. When a woman is confident, she is also more likely to set boundaries and communicate what she wants or needs from others. Men pick up on this quickly. A woman who knows how to stand up for herself, express her desires, and articulate her feelings without hesitation is someone who is secure in who she is. And that's incredibly attractive. Men are drawn to women who don't settle for less than they deserve and who don't let others walk all over them. It's a sign of strength, and it shows that she values herself enough to not accept anything that doesn't align with her own standards. Confidence also plays a big role in how a woman navigates challenges. When life throws her a curveball, whether it's a stressful situation at work or a personal struggle, how does she handle it? Does she remain calm, stay composed, and keep pushing forward? Or does she panic, shrink back, or let the situation overwhelm her? Men notice how a woman handles adversity, and they are especially drawn to women who approach life with a sense of grace and resilience. Confidence isn't about never having doubts or fears. It's about how you respond when things don't go according to plan. A woman who stays composed handles challenges with maturity and doesn't let setbacks define her as someone who exudes true confidence. Now, this isn't about being perfect. Confidence doesn't mean having all the answers or being flawless. It means owning your imperfections and still walking through life with pride. It's about being real, being unapologetically yourself, and knowing that you have value regardless of what anyone else thinks. And let's be clear, men notice when a woman is being her authentic self. There's something incredibly attractive about someone who doesn't try to hide behind a facade or put on a front. When a woman is genuine and comfortable in her own skin, it's magnetic. It invites connection and makes others feel at ease around her. And that, my friends, is something men definitely pick up on. So the next time you step into a room or engage with someone, remember that how you carry yourself is one of the first things that will be noticed. It's the energy you bring into the space and the confidence with which you own it. Confidence is powerful, and it can make all the difference in how you're perceived. Whether you realize it or not, the way you carry yourself speaks volumes. And men notice that more than you think. One of the most underrated qualities that men notice about women is their sense of humor. And it's not just about being able to tell a good joke, it's about how a woman engages with humor in general. Whether it's cracking a funny line or just having a good laugh at something random, men are drawn to women who can make them laugh or enjoy a light-hearted moment. Humor is often the bridge that connects people. It can break the ice, ease tension, and create a sense of closeness that can't be achieved through any other means. When a woman can laugh at herself, crack a witty remark, or just enjoy a good joke, it immediately makes her more approachable and, honestly, more attractive. But it's not just about cracking jokes. It's also about how she responds to humor. Men notice how a woman reacts when someone else tells a joke or when she finds herself in a funny situation. Does she laugh easily? Does she have a playful energy about her that makes everything feel lighter and more fun? A woman who enjoys humor and doesn't take herself too seriously is refreshing. It shows that she's not uptight or overly focused on perfection. Instead, she's someone who knows how to enjoy life, have fun, and not get bogged down by every little thing that doesn't go perfectly. That kind of ease with humor in life is incredibly attractive. And let's be real, laughter is one of the best ways to connect with someone on a deeper level. Men notice how a woman's sense of humor creates a more relaxed, enjoyable atmosphere. If a woman has a great sense of humor, she can change the entire dynamic of a room. It can make a date feel less like a performance and more like two people genuinely enjoying each other's company. It takes the pressure off, allows them to be themselves, and fosters an environment where they can bond more easily. Humor has a unique way of breaking down walls and creating intimacy in a way that nothing else can. For men, being with someone who can laugh and joke around is a big deal. It shows that the woman is emotionally open, flexible, and able to see the lighter side of things. That doesn't mean she's always cracking jokes or acting goofy. Far from it. But it does mean that she knows when to let go of stress and enjoy a moment of lightness. Life is full of challenges, and the ability to laugh at those challenges, to find humor even in difficult situations, is a sign of emotional resilience. A man sees that in a woman, and it makes him feel more connected to her because he knows she's able to handle life's ups and downs with grace. Humor also plays a huge role in chemistry. When two people can laugh together, it creates an undeniable bond. It's an instant connection, and men pick up on that. If they can share a good laugh with a woman, they often feel a sense of closeness that goes beyond just physical attraction. It's a deeper, more personal connection. This kind of laughter is not just about surface level humor. It's about sharing an experience that makes both people feel comfortable, understood, and happy That shared joy is something that sticks with men long after the moment passes. Moreover, humor can help a woman stand out in a sea of people. A woman with a great sense of humor is memorable. It's one of those qualities that people don't forget because it leaves a lasting impression. Men might forget what a woman was wearing or what she said, but they will often remember how she made them feel, whether that's through laughter or a shared moment of lightheartedness. That's a powerful thing. When a woman can be funny and make others laugh, it automatically boosts her likability. Men notice that kind of positive energy because it's magnetic. It draws them in and makes them want to spend more time with her. And here's the thing, humor isn't just about being funny. It's about how a woman embraces joy and makes life feel a little more fun. It's about the way she lights up a room, the way she effortlessly brings others into her world of laughter, and how she doesn't shy away from being a little silly or playful. That's what catches a man's attention. He notices that she's not just attractive physically, she's engaging, she's enjoyable to be around, and she knows how to keep things light and fun. These are the qualities that make a lasting impression on a man because at the end of the day, men love being with someone who can make them laugh and bring joy into their lives. Humor is in many ways a reflection of a woman's personality. It's a sign of emotional maturity and self-confidence. It shows that she's comfortable in her own skin, doesn't take herself too seriously, and knows how to appreciate the lighter side of life. That kind of energy is undeniably attractive, and it's something men secretly notice more than they might admit. Whether she's cracking jokes, sharing a funny story, or just laughing at the absurdity of life, men are drawn to women who bring humor into their lives. It's not just about making them laugh, it's about creating an atmosphere where they can be themselves, relax, and enjoy the moment. And that, my friends, is one of the most irresistible qualities a woman can possess. One of the most subtle yet powerful things men secretly notice about women is how she treats other people, particularly those she doesn't have to impress. Whether it's how she interacts with service staff, strangers, or even people she may not know very well, men are paying attention to the way a woman shows kindness, respect, and consideration. This goes beyond just being polite. It's about genuine empathy and treating others with dignity, no matter their status. A woman who is kind to those who don't hold any immediate power or influence is incredibly attractive. It shows a level of character and humanity that can't be faked, and men often find themselves more drawn to women who exhibit this trait. For example, how a woman treats a waiter at a restaurant or a cashier at a store says a lot about her personality. Does she engage with them warmly, show patience, or even make small talk to brighten their day? Or does she act dismissively or with a sense of entitlement because she feels superior? Men notice these interactions because they reveal an essential quality: how she values others, regardless of their position or what they can do for her. A woman who shows kindness and respect to everyone she meets doesn't just stand out, she earns respect. And men notice that level of respect. It reflects maturity, confidence, and emotional intelligence, all of which are qualities that make a woman far more attractive. There's something about witnessing a woman's genuine kindness that makes a man feel more comfortable around her. It shows that she's a person who values humanity and doesn't see others as objects to serve her or as means to an end. Instead, she sees people for who they are and treats them accordingly. This creates a sense of trust and safety that is crucial in any potential relationship. Men look for women who can treat others with the same care and respect they would want for themselves. It's a sign that she has a solid moral compass, is emotionally aware, and can be counted on to handle relationships in a mature, respectful way. That's not just a desirable quality, it's an essential one. But kindness isn't just about how a woman treats people she doesn't know. It's also about how she treats those she loves and cares about. How does she interact with family and friends? Is she supportive, empathetic, and willing to go the extra mile to make their lives easier or better? Men take note of how a woman behaves with those closest to her because it provides a glimpse into how she might treat a partner in a committed relationship. A woman who is nurturing, attentive, and thoughtful with her loved ones is likely to bring that same warmth and care into a romantic relationship. It's a comforting thought for men because it assures them that she has the capacity for deep emotional connection and is someone they can trust. What's even more attractive is when a woman is kind without seeking recognition or praise. Men notice when a woman does something thoughtful or kind and doesn't need to be acknowledged for it. It's not about getting credit for every good deed, but rather doing things from the heart because they are the right thing to do. A man appreciates when a woman performs acts of kindness out of genuine compassion, rather than as a way to seek attention or validation. This kind of selflessness speaks volumes about her character, and men find themselves drawn to this trait. It makes her appear more genuine, humble, and sincere, and these are qualities that deepen a man's emotional connection to her. Moreover, kindness also involves patience. How does she handle moments when people are difficult or situations are stressful? Is she quick to anger or frustration, or does she remain calm, understanding, and patient? A woman's ability to handle tense situations with grace and poise is a major point of admiration for men. It shows maturity, emotional intelligence, and the ability to handle life's inevitable challenges without losing her cool. Men notice when a woman can stay grounded and collected, even when things aren't going according to plan. It's a quality that signals strength and resilience, traits that any man would want to have by his side in the long term. When a woman's kindness is consistent, even in the small, everyday moments, it builds a sense of trust and admiration. Men often find themselves thinking that if she's this kind to others, she's probably the type of person who will be loyal, caring, and dependable in a relationship. It makes them feel like she's someone they can build something meaningful with. In fact, kindness is often seen as a cornerstone of any successful, long-lasting relationship. It creates the foundation for mutual respect and understanding, which are necessary for growth and longevity in any partnership. So, men notice when a woman shows kindness, not just to them, but to everyone she encounters. Whether it's the way she talks to a stranger or how she cares for her loved ones, this simple act of empathy speaks volumes about her character. It shows that she is someone who values the dignity of others and knows how to build meaningful connections. That's a trait that sticks with men long after the encounter is over. Kindness, at its core, reveals a woman's depth, warmth, and ability to make others feel seen and valued. And that is something men are always watching for. One of the subtle but powerful things that men secretly notice about women is how she carries herself. It's not just about what she's wearing or how she looks, though those things certainly matter in their own way. It's more about her posture, confidence, and the way she holds herself in different situations. Men notice the energy a woman exudes when she walks into a room or enters a conversation. It's not about being loud or commanding attention, but rather the quiet confidence that comes from knowing who you are, where you stand, and being comfortable in your own skin. There's something magnetic about a woman who walks with her head held high, shoulders back, and a natural sense of ease in her movements. It signals self-assurance, and that confidence can be incredibly attractive. A woman's body language can say more about her than words ever could. Men are keen observers of this because it reflects how she feels about herself, her place in the world, and how she navigates interactions. The way she stands or sits, whether it's open and relaxed or tense and closed off, can indicate a lot about her comfort level and her inner state. A woman who is open, both physically and emotionally, tends to be seen as approachable, friendly, and someone who is comfortable in her own identity. That doesn't mean she has to be extroverted or constantly engaging with everyone around her. But when she does interact, there's a natural warmth and approachability in the way she expresses herself. The little details matter a lot. Men notice if a woman takes care of her physical appearance in a way that reflects pride in who she is, without it feeling forced or overly done. She might not be dressed in designer clothes or have perfectly styled hair every day, but there's an effort to look presentable and to feel good about herself. This isn't about perfection, it's about the energy she radiates. Men notice when a woman looks like she's at ease with herself and isn't worried about fitting into some prescribed mold of what's fashionable or attractive. Confidence in one's appearance without the need for constant validation or attention is incredibly magnetic. It says, I'm comfortable with who I am, and that is something that draws people in. Moreover, the way a woman expresses herself through speech also plays a huge role in how she is perceived. Men notice how articulate and thoughtful she is when she speaks. Does she engage in meaningful conversations? Is she able to communicate her thoughts and opinions clearly without being overly aggressive or passive? A woman who knows how to communicate effectively exudes confidence, and men are drawn to this trait. It's not just about being eloquent, but about being confident enough to express your thoughts and stand by them. When a woman communicates with clarity, it shows that she respects herself enough to express her needs, desires, and boundaries, and men appreciate that. It's a sign of emotional maturity and self-respect, which are incredibly attractive qualities. There's also something incredibly powerful about a woman who isn't afraid to be vulnerable, but at the same time maintains her sense of self-respect. Vulnerability is often seen as a sign of strength, not weakness. It takes courage to be open about emotions, desires, and even fears, and men notice when a woman is able to do that without feeling insecure about it. A woman who can let her guard down without losing her sense of self-assurance sends a message that she's emotionally mature and comfortable with her imperfections. That kind of vulnerability allows for a deeper connection and intimacy because it creates space for both partners to be real with each other without fear of judgment. And men find that kind of openness deeply attractive because it creates a sense of trust and emotional safety. Another aspect of how a woman carries herself that men notice is the way she handles pressure or stressful situations. When life throws challenges her way, how does she react? Does she lose her cool and become overwhelmed? Or does she take a step back, breathe, and handle the situation with grace? A woman who can navigate stressful moments without losing control is seen as emotionally stable and resilient. Men notice when a woman can remain composed, solve problems with a level head, and still show care and compassion in difficult situations. This ability to stay grounded and maintain poise under pressure shows strength and maturity. It reflects an inner calm that not only reassures others, but also commands respect. It signals that she's someone who can handle life's challenges with grace. And that's an incredibly attractive quality. And let's not forget about how a woman's presence can light up a room simply by being her authentic self. When she carries herself with authenticity, it's impossible to ignore. There's a certain aura that comes from being genuine, and men notice that. When a woman doesn't feel the need to conform to anyone else's standards or expectations, it creates an undeniable energy. She's not pretending to be someone she's not. She's simply being herself. And that confidence, that authenticity, is incredibly magnetic. Men are drawn to women who don't need to put on a show. When a woman is at peace with who she is and is not afraid to let that shine through, it's impossible not to admire her strength and self-assurance. In the end, the way a woman carries herself is a reflection of her inner strength, her self-respect, and her confidence. Men notice how she presents herself not just in terms of appearance, but in the way she moves, speaks, and handles situations. It's an expression of her personality and her ability to be emotionally and mentally grounded, no matter what comes her way. A woman who is confident without arrogance, graceful under pressure, and authentic to herself is a woman who radiates an undeniable magnetism. And that, my friends, is a quality that men can't help but notice and admire. One of the more understated yet significant things men secretly notice about women is how she handles her independence. It's not about being aloof or detached from others. Rather, it's about how a woman is able to stand on her own 2 feet, make decisions confidently, and live her life without being overly reliant on anyone else for validation or direction. Men are naturally drawn to women who exude a sense of autonomy, self-reliance, and purpose. There's something magnetic about a woman who knows what she wants and is unafraid to pursue it with passion and focus. Whether she's building her career, pursuing a hobby, or simply living life according to her own terms, men notice when a woman is in control of her own destiny. Independence doesn't just come from career achievements or financial stability. It also stems from emotional resilience and the ability to maintain a sense of self outside of a relationship. Men observe how a woman can be emotionally balanced and fulfilled without needing to rely on someone else to complete her. A woman who enjoys her own company, who has a rich and fulfilling personal life, is often seen as more interesting and intriguing. She doesn't feel the need to be constantly validated or sought after to feel good about herself. And this kind of confidence is incredibly attractive. She's someone who knows that her worth doesn't depend on whether someone else is paying attention to her or not. And this level of self-sufficiency is something men find incredibly appealing because it signals emotional maturity and strength. When a woman is independent, it also shows that she can be a partner without losing her identity. She doesn't need to sacrifice her goals, desires, or personality in order to make a relationship work. Instead, she brings her full, authentic self into the partnership, contributing to a dynamic where both individuals can grow together yet remain true to who they are individually. Men notice when a woman is able to maintain her independence in a relationship, she can be supportive, loving, and emotionally present without compromising her own sense of self. This makes her a much more stable and reliable partner, as she isn't clinging to the other person for emotional fulfillment or validation. Instead, she is comfortable in her own skin and can contribute to the relationship in a healthy, balanced way. Another aspect of independence that men notice is a woman's ability to make decisions without hesitation. Whether it's choosing what to do on a date, making a career move, or handling a life challenge, a woman who is decisive and clear about what she wants is an undeniable asset. Men admire women who can trust their instincts and make choices with confidence, even when faced with uncertainty. It shows that she is grounded and secure in her own judgment, which adds a layer of respect and admiration to the relationship. It's not about always being right, but rather having the confidence to stand by your decisions and trust your own capabilities. This kind of self-assuredness is something that men find incredibly attractive because it signals emotional intelligence and maturity. Furthermore, independence is also about being able to set boundaries and communicate them clearly. A woman who knows what she will and won't tolerate is someone who respects herself and expects the same from others. Men notice when a woman is able to say no when something doesn't align with her values or needs without feeling guilty or apologetic. This sense of self-respect is not only empowering for the woman, but also sets a standard for how she expects to be treated in relationships. Men find this kind of clarity and assertiveness to be both empowering and attractive because it establishes that she won't settle for less than she deserves. It also shows that she values her own well-being and is not afraid to stand up for herself, which is a trait that men deeply admire in a potential partner. Additionally, an independent woman is often someone who has a clear sense of purpose. She knows what her goals are, both personally and professionally, and she actively works toward them. Whether it's furthering her education, growing in her career, or pursuing a creative passion, a woman with a sense of direction is incredibly appealing. Men notice when a woman is passionate about something beyond just the relationship, when she has a drive and focus that comes from within. It shows that she has a sense of ambition and determination, and that she's not relying on external sources to define her worth. This kind of passion and commitment is inspiring, and it also keeps things fresh and exciting in a relationship, as there's always something new to learn and share together. Lastly, a woman who is independent isn't afraid to take risks or step outside her comfort zone. She might travel solo, start a new project, or take on a new challenge that pushes her to grow. Men are naturally drawn to women who embrace adventure and growth because it shows that she is willing to evolve, learn, and take on new experiences, even if they might be intimidating. This willingness to embrace change and push the boundaries of what's comfortable signals a level of courage and fearlessness that many men find incredibly attractive. It demonstrates that she's not static or stuck in her ways. Instead, she's constantly evolving and striving to be the best version of herself. And that kind of energy is magnetic. Ultimately, men secretly admire women who embrace their independence. It's not about rejecting love or partnership, but rather about being self-sufficient, confident, and able to maintain a strong sense of self, regardless of the circumstances. A woman who is emotionally balanced, decisive, clear about her boundaries, and driven toward her own goals is someone men respect and find incredibly attractive. She's not looking to be rescued or validated by anyone. Instead, she is already whole and content on her own. This level of strength and confidence is something men notice, respect, and often find deeply captivating because it shows that she's a woman who can handle a life on her own terms while still being an incredible partner in a relationship. One of the subtle things men notice about women is how she treats other people, especially those she doesn't have to impress or who can't offer anything in return. It's easy to be nice and considerate when someone has something to give you, but the real test of a person's character is how they treat others without any expectation of receiving anything in return. Men are observant, and they notice when a woman shows kindness and respect toward everyone, regardless of their status, wealth, or position. Whether she's being kind to a waiter, giving a smile to a stranger, or helping someone in need without any thought of recognition. Men find this level of humility and compassion incredibly attractive. A woman who treats people with kindness demonstrates emotional intelligence and maturity. It shows that she values others for who they are, not what they can offer. This kind of behavior signals that she has a strong sense of empathy and understands the importance of treating others with dignity. Men are drawn to women who are compassionate and genuine because it speaks to their own values. When a woman shows kindness and respect in her everyday interactions, it sends the message that she's someone who will treat her partner with the same level of care, respect, and consideration. This quality makes her not only a good partner, but also a good person overall. Men notice when a woman isn't just nice when it's convenient, but when she consistently shows kindness in all aspects of her life. Men also notice the way a woman supports the people she loves. Whether it's her friends, family, or colleagues, a woman who stands by her loved ones during tough times is someone men deeply admire. It's not always about grand gestures. Sometimes It's the small acts of support. Being there to listen when someone needs to talk, offering encouragement when someone is going through a rough patch, or helping in ways that might not be obvious to others. These actions show that she is reliable, caring, and selfless, which are qualities that many men value in a partner. A woman who supports those around her in meaningful ways demonstrates emotional depth and a genuine desire to make the lives of others better. Men notice this because it reflects how she will likely show up for them in a relationship. There's also something powerful about a woman who understands the importance of boundaries and respects the boundaries of others. Men notice when a woman is clear about her own boundaries and can communicate them effectively without guilt or hesitation. This signals emotional maturity and self-respect, two qualities that are incredibly attractive. A woman who knows how to set limits and respect the boundaries of others demonstrates that she understands the dynamics of healthy relationships. She doesn't expect others to tolerate behavior that makes them uncomfortable, and she is just as firm about protecting her own emotional space. Men appreciate women who understand that healthy relationships are built on mutual respect, and that involves both respecting each other's personal boundaries and communicating openly when something isn't working. A woman who is able to express her emotions in a healthy, constructive way is another thing men notice. When women bottle up their feelings or struggle to communicate what they're going through, it can lead to frustration, misunderstandings, or conflict. But when a woman is able to articulate how she feels in a calm, direct manner, it signals emotional maturity and self-awareness. Men find this ability to express emotions without drama or manipulation incredibly attractive because it shows that the woman is in control of her emotional state and is capable of navigating difficult conversations with grace and composure. This is especially important in relationships where open and honest communication is key. A woman who can handle her emotions and communicate them effectively is likely to build a relationship based on trust, understanding, and emotional support. Finally, men notice how a woman balances her independence with the ability to be vulnerable. This is a rare and powerful combination that is both attractive and deeply meaningful. It takes a lot of strength to be independent and self-sufficient, yet still allow oneself to be open and vulnerable with the right person. When a woman can be emotionally available without being overly dependent, it demonstrates that she is emotionally grounded and capable of forming deep, meaningful connections. Men are drawn to this balance because it signals that she is not afraid to let her guard down, but she also knows how to stand strong on her own. This balance is key to building a healthy, supportive relationship where both partners are emotionally present without losing their sense of self. What makes this dynamic even more compelling is that men notice how a woman can still be nurturing and loving without sacrificing her own emotional well-being. She's not constantly seeking validation or reassurance, but she knows when to reach out for support and when to offer it. This ability to nurture and care for others without losing herself in the process is an incredibly attractive quality. It shows that she has a healthy sense of self-worth and is capable of giving love freely without expecting anything in return. Men are often drawn to women who have this emotional strength because it signals that they can create a deep, fulfilling connection without feeling emotionally drained or overwhelmed. In the end, men secretly notice the little things women do that show their true character, how they treat others, how they support their loved ones, and how they balance independence with emotional availability. These actions speak volumes about a woman's emotional intelligence, maturity, and depth. Men find women who demonstrate kindness, respect, and emotional strength to be incredibly attractive because these qualities reflect the foundation of a healthy, successful relationship. When a woman can express herself authentically, show care for others, and stand firm in her own boundaries, she becomes someone men admire and want to be close to. These actions are a reflection of her inner strength, and that strength is something that cannot be overlooked.